Imagine this. You're on a plane flying over New York City, and suddenly both engines die. No power. No time. Just 208 seconds to decide between life and death. But what happened next shocked the world and turned one ordinary flight into a miracle. This is a miracle on the Hudson, the unbelievable true story of Flight 1549. Barely 3 minutes after takeoff, a flock of geese slams into both engines. Suddenly, silence. No thrust. No power. The plane is gliding over one of the most crowded cities in the world. At 3,000 feet, Captain Chesley Sullenberger has seconds to act. No airports in range. No time to turn back. One wrong move, and hundreds could die. Then, over the radio, Sully's calm voice cuts through chaos. We're going to be in the Hudson. In that moment, the impossible became reality. A powerless jetliner descending toward the icy Hudson River, as millions watched in disbelief. But what happened next would go down in history, not as a tragedy, but as a miracle. The miracle on the Hudson, how 155 lives were saved in 208 seconds. With both engines gone, Flight 1549 is gliding silently over the Bronx. Inside the cockpit, Captain Sully Sullenberger and First Officer Jeff Skiles fight against time. Alarms blare. Altitude drops. The checklist is useless. They've trained her failures before, but never both engines. Sully's voice remains rock steady. He scans his options. Teterboro? Too far. LaGuardia? Impossible. In front of him, skyscrapers, bridges, and the Hudson River. Sully makes the call. We're going to land in the Hudson. It's a decision no pilot has ever made and survived. Inside the cabin, passengers brace for impact. Some pray, some cry. Flight attendants shout, brace, brace. Heads down, stay down. At 3:31 p.m., the plane hits the water. A violent splash, then, against all odds, the aircraft stays afloat. 155 people. Not one life lost. Within minutes, ferries, police boats, and first responders rush to the scene. Ordinary New Yorkers become heroes, pulling passengers from the freezing water, wrapping them in coats and blankets, offering shaking hands and hope. The world watches in awe. What could have been one of aviation's darkest days becomes a story of courage, calm, and teamwork. And at the heart of it all, Captain Sully, a man who said later, "I was just doing my job." But to millions, he was proof that preparation, instinct, and humanity can turn disaster into a miracle. The miracle on the Hudson, January 15th, 2009. 155 lives. 0 fatalities. Endless inspiration. In just 208 seconds, a routine flight became a lesson in courage. The miracle on the Hudson wasn't luck. It was leadership, teamwork, and human instinct under unthinkable pressure. Captain Sully and his crew reminded the world that heroes aren't made in the spotlight. They're forged in moments of silence, fear, and impossible choices. That cold January day, 155 people got a second chance at life. And maybe that's the real miracle, not just surviving, but remembering how powerful calm, courage, and compassion can be when everything is on the line. If this story inspired you, imagine what you'd do in those 208 seconds. Because sometimes ordinary people do extraordinary things. Thanks for watching. If you believe in real-life miracles, hit that like button. Subscribe for more true stories that move the world. And let's keep these moments of courage alive.